This is problem number 22 on page number 13 on your assignment. And your goal for these problems is to use the graph to shorten the list of possible rational zeros and then to find all the real zeros of the function. So looking at this graph, I know that one of my zeros is here at 2 on the grid because I can see that point crosses at 2. And so I'm going to use that 0 to shorten my list. Check your equation. It's got negative 3x cubed plus 20x squared minus 36x plus 16. It has power 3, power 2, power 1, and constant here. So it has all the things that it needs to have. I'm going to copy that down here so that I can do my synthetic division. Copy the coefficients into the box. Drop the first one out. And then I'm dividing by 2 here because 2 is the 0 that I found on the graph. So like all synthetic division here, multiply in, add out. So negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. 20 plus negative 6 is 14. 2 times 14 is 28. Negative 36 plus 28 is negative 8. Then negative 8 times 2 is negative 16. 16 plus negative 16 is 0. And I should get 0 there because it was a 0 for the y value on that point. So the point 2, 0 on that graph is a 0 here. So I know that I did that part right. Now what this does is, remember that when you divide like this, you decrease the power by 1. So I really have an equation here that's negative 3x squared plus 14x minus 8. And I could do this by either doing the factoring with the my father drives a red Mercedes, or I could use the quadratic formula to solve it. Let's try the my father drives a red Mercedes and see if we can do it that route. And if not, quadratic formula will always work. So first step for my father drives a red Mercedes is multiply. Multiply the negative 3 by the negative 8. And we'll get x squared plus 14x plus 24. So I need factors of 24. That will give me 14. That's 12 and 2. So multiply a factor plus 12 and x plus 2. Divide, reduce, and move are the last steps here. So divide, same thing. We multiplied by a negative 3 to start. We're going to need to divide by a negative 3 here. So x plus 12 over negative 3. And then x plus 2 over negative 3. Reduce, so here this would be x minus 4, because 12 divided by negative 3 is negative 4. And then this one does not reduce, but I will put x minus 2/3. And then move. Anything that has a denominator left, the denominator moves to the front. So x minus 4 and 3x minus 2 are my two factors. And you use these two factors to find the zeros. So take those two factors, so x minus 4, set that equal to 0. That will give me 4. And then take the other one, 3x minus 2, set it equal to 0. Add the 2. 3x equals 2. Divide by 3. X equals 2/3. So my other two solutions are 4 and 2/3. And you can look up at this graph and you can see this point would be 2/3 right here, and that this point would be at 4. So those are the solutions from using that graph to narrow down the choices. Now once you get to this point, with the blue and the writing here, I mean, you could factor like we did. We could graph it and find the zeros. You can also use quadratic formula to find the zeros and that sort of thing.